The iPhone 17 is finally here, and I've been putting it through its paces over the past 2 weeks since I've had the phone. I've got the iPhone Air here and the iPhone 17 Pro Max in the gorgeous cosmic orange, which I do love. It's a controversial colour this year, but I actually do quite like it. I wasn't sure at the first when I looked at the phone, picked it up, but actually it has grown on me over the past 2 weeks. So what I'm going to do in this video, so I'm not doing another iPhone 17 review because there's so many of those around on YouTube. I'm going to do it a bit differently. I'm going to do like a buying guide. So what I'm going to try and do in this video is put together a buying guide for anyone who's looking at the iPhone 17 series, because we've got a bit of a mix up this year. We've got the iPhone 17 Air, so the iPhone 17 Plus. So we're going to break down all the phones, what you get in each phone, what I found from the past 2 weeks testing, because I've had the iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Air and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So I'm going to just try and break it down for you, do a buying guide, and hopefully help you decide which model you want to buy if you're looking at an iPhone 17. So sit back, relax, and let's find out which iPhone you should buy. I think let's start off then looking at the iPhone 17 series overall. So first of all, we've got the iPhone 17, which is sort of versatile all-rounder phone. It's now got promotion this year, so it's actually more of a rounded package than it ever has been. We've got the iPhone 17 Air, which is the ultra lightweight version. I've got the iPhone 17 Pro, which is the smaller Pro variant, which is exactly the same specification as the Pro Max. And then finally, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is now available up to 2 terabytes and costs £2,000. So it's a big lineup now. We've got lots of differences in the phones, less than we used to have, but also key differences in the new Air, for example. So this year, Apple's pushing a strong, sustainable, premium design enhanced display tech across the range, like I've got a promotion as mentioned. So let's start off then by looking at the design and materials of all the phones. The new iPhone 17 it keeps the traditional design of the budget. I say budget, it's £800, but the bottom of the range iPhone 17. Well, it's not technically right. The iPhone 16 is bottom of the range, but the mid-range iPhone 17 keeps the refined aluminium frame, flat edges, and glass back. And it's a ceramic shield glass, so it's quite particularly strong for scratches and damage. And it looks like any other iPhone you might have seen. It looks very traditional. So we've got 6 colours this time. We've got lavender, mist blue, sage, black and white, and I do like the new colours. I think the mist blue and sage are my favourites. I had a mist blue one and it is very nice. I do like the sage though. So the rear cameras are now dual setup. We've now got 2 48 megapixel lenses, which we'll get into in a minute, and we've got the ultra wide and the wide camera as well. So it is premium. Then next up, we've got the iPhone 17 Air. So the iPhone 17 Air is a new design this year. It's a lot thinner, obviously. It's competing with the S25 Edge. It's got all the phone parts have been moved to the camera module. So we've got a single 48 megapixel camera lens on it, which I'll get into in a minute. It does have some disadvantages and some advantages too, what I've found. And actually impressed me more than I thought it was going to do. So this is so the base model is 6.3 inch and the iPhone Air is 6.7 inch. So sort of mid-range. We replaced the iPhone 16 Plus with the iPhone 17 Air, which I wasn't that happy about. I particularly like the iPhone 16 Plus size. I think it's perfect if you want that mid-range phone. iPhone 17, it's got the A19 standard chip in it, and the iPhone 17 Air has an A19 Pro, which again we'll get into in kind of a minute as well. So that's the iPhone 17 and its iPhone 17 Air design. Is the iPhone 17 Air is lightweight, and the iPhone 17 is sort of mid-range module and hasn't really changed much apart from that ProMotion display. Now we've got the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, and Apple have completely redone it this year. We've got a brand new aluminium frame, so it's a unibody frame. We've got rid of titanium after Apple pushing titanium for years, saying how good it was and lightweight and strong. We're now going back to aluminium, and that is a worry for scratching. I must admit, I am worried about scratching my phone, so I've had this in a case over the past 2 weeks. I haven't had the scratches on it. I did drop it on the floor once or twice as well in the case. I've had no problems with it. We've got a small part of ceramic shield on the back for the wireless charging, and the Pro models on the front use ceramic shield 2, which is a very strong version of ceramic shield. I dropped it, I had a screen protector on it, but I've not tested it out fully. So this year we've got blue, silver and cosmic orange. So what do you think of cosmic orange? I actually think it's nice to get that a brighter colour. I'm not sure about the luminous orange, but anyway, it has grown on me over the past 2 weeks, as mentioned. And it does feel, both phones feel luxurious. So we've got a 6.3 inch Pro and a 6.9 inch Pro Max. So the Pro Max is a beastie phone, I'm not going to lie. The design of it is, it's got 3 cameras on the back, new camera module. We've got a LiDAR sensor in the camera module, and it goes right across the back of the phone. And this year we've got a 0.5 times to 8 times optical zoom, which is nice to have, especially for people who like the photography side of it. And it's got all the usual macro shots and stuff like that, which we'll get into in a minute. So I think, so you're sitting with the standard iPhone 17, which is aluminium. We've got the iPhone 17 Air, which is titanium. Then we've got the iPhone 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max, which are aluminium again. So it's kind of a weird mixture this year of materials. So the iPhone 17 Air is particularly strong because of titanium. I think the Pro Max and the Pro are well made and do feel sturdy, but I do worry about the resistance of the aluminium finish. It is prone to scratching and will not be as durable as titanium. So let's look at the display then across both all the phones. So I'll start off with iPhone 17. So we've got 6.3 inch Retina display, ProMotion display, and it is a great display. It's very similar, if not the same display across the iPhone range, just in different sizes. That's what I have to say. So whatever phone you choose, you will not get a better or worse display now. So 120 Hz refresh rate right at the bottom of the range, which Android have had for years and iPhone have now adopted. And I think they had to because of the fact that all the Android phones are going for that high refresh rate at the budget price range. And it looks great. It's perfect. It looks like it should have done 5 years ago, and it looks much better. And then we've got the iPhone 17 Air, which is a 6.7 inch full I think it's slightly above 2K display. It looks very sharp, very bright, 3000 nits, say all the same displays across the board, just different sizes. So whether you choose the £2,000 Pro Max or the $799 cited iPhone 17, you get 3000 nits of peak brightness, 1000 nits of typical peak brightness. So across the board, displays the same. And that's not a bad thing. The displays are very good. It makes the choice easier. So if you're buying a phone just on displays, it doesn't matter which one you get. Just get the size you want, essentially. So very sad that the Plus model's now gone. That was one of my favourites in the range, but you now get ProMotion at the bottom of the range. So we can't have everything, so it's nice to see Apple adopting that. So the camera systems then are quite different across the range. The iPhone 17 has two cameras on the back, which is the same as last year, but we've now been upgraded to a 48 megapixel ultra wide and a 48 megapixel wide lens as well, which is really nice because then you've got the ultra high resolution lenses on both. You can do zoom in more on digital zooms. You've got more resolution to play with, stuff like that. So it gives you very similar camera results to the Pro Max actually on those two lenses. I've not noticed that much difference. You do lose the Pro features, so you don't get Pro RAW, Pro Res video or anything like that on the basic iPhone. So iPhone Air is one camera, it's 48 megapixel, and it does have a 2 times sensor cropped zoom. So Apple do very good at playing around with the sensors and making them crop in and making zooms out of sensors which aren't actually true zooms but appear to us as they are. I think the iPhone Air's camera is very good. I think it's very similar to the iPhone 17's camera because it's the same lens, the same sensor. It looks identical. You do miss out on the ultra-wide lens, but how many of us use the ultra-wide lens? I don't use it very often, so if you don't use it, not bothered about it, the iPhone Air is fine. Camera-wise, it's good. It's got the 4K 60 HDR on it, and that's the max resolution, so it doesn't do Pro RAW. It's kind of it basically has the same features as an iPhone 16 Plus, but in the Air format with one camera. So if you like your cameras and you want to use more than one lens, the Air is not the one to go for, but actually is more versatile than I first thought, and I got some decent shots out of it. So actually, quite impressed with the Air. And the front cameras on all the phones are a new center stage camera, so 18 megapixel center stage with a square shaped sensor. What does that mean? So it means you can actually flip the phone around different ways and get the same results with this. And it works quite well. I get a wide aspect and a zoomed in aspect, which people have been asking for years because Google Pixel had this on their phones last year. I think it's great that you can do that in a big group shots. This is on all the phones right across the range, so it doesn't matter which one you pick, you still get the new front forward case facing selfie camera, which has got the sort of center stage following around with the sensor and also the wide angle shot. So Air is the weakest of the range. Pro and Pro Max now have 3 lenses, which we've had before, but we get what we call 0.5 times to 8 times zoom. So Apple have actually introduced an 8 times digital optical zoom, which they call it, by shifting some pixels around on the sensor. So we've only got 3 lenses, but you get that broad range of zooms. And I think one thing about iPhones is that the zoom range is great, and also it's very smooth across the range, zooming in and out on the phone, which I'll show you some shots of. It just looks great. So no cinematic mode on the Air because you've only got one camera as well. That's something to bear in mind. And then you get ProRes RAW on the Pro and Pro Max. The Pro Max is the one to go for if you are a creator. I think I'm using it at the moment, and it is great for videography. It looks fantastic. I'll show you some videos I took on this and edited on the iPad. It looks really professional, and I was very impressed with it, especially with that 4K 120 HDR. So let's get on to sort of performance then. So the iPhone 17 has a A19 chip in it. So the base A19 chip, which is incredibly powerful. It outguns anything at the moment, I think, from most Android phones. So it's a very powerful chip. 5-core GPU, 6-core CPU. So I've run some games on this, high-end graphical games, and they all run fine. Didn't even get that warm. iPhone Air has the A19 Pro, which is a cut-down version, 5-core GPU, 6-core CPU, still very powerful again, ran some software on it, games, video editing. It all runs perfectly on it, apart from just bear in mind it is a cut-down core, so it technically could falter a bit. But the problem with the Air is its thinness, so it does get warm, it gets quite hot. You don't have a vapor chamber in there, you don't have anything to cool it down, so it is a warm phone. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, I've got the full-fat A19 Pro and are obviously the most powerful, and they have the most RAM. So 12 gigabytes of RAM for the Pro, 8 gigabytes of RAM for the 17 models, which is very different to Android RAM because of the way iOS uses the file system. So don't worry too much about the RAM, but if you want the best performance, basically the Pro and the Pro Max are still the ones to go for, but right across the range, performance is great. I had no problems with it at all in gaming, and also the camera handles taking pictures fine. It doesn't get that warm. So the Pro Max and the Pro now this year have a new vapor chamber, and to be honest, I didn't feel the phone getting hot at all. It stays a lot cooler than last year, which is nice to have as well if you're really pushing the phone under heavy loads. So battery life then, we've got we've got batteries in all of them apart from the iPhone 17 Air, which has a smaller battery. I think it's 3,100 milliamps. So the Air should get 24 hours of playback, but I don't think it will. So if you use the gaming, the camera, all that, then the Air will not last you the full day. And they do sell a battery pack with it. I got the slim battery pack to go with it, and that does make a difference. It's very overpriced, at £100. You probably pick yourself one up that's a bit cheaper than that. I'm sure there'll be loads of third-party ones out by the time this video is published. So the iPhone 17 and 17 Pro have the best batteries with the big fast charging. The charger at the Pro Max charges at 45 watts now, roughly, which is fantastic news. Apple have never adopted fast charging for years. And the iPhone 17 charges at slower speed, but still charges pretty fast as well. It's much better than it was last year. So overall, charging speeds and battery are fine. The Air is the weakest of them all, followed by the iPhone 17 and the 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max. So the best battery is the Pro Max because it's the biggest phone. The worst is the Air, so that's just something to bear in mind. But it's all actually not too bad. And both have got QI2 wireless charging. So we've got 15 watts, 25 watts wireless charging, just like the new Google Pixel 10. So let's talk about pricing then. So the iPhone 17 starts at $799 with 256 gigabytes of storage, and the iPhone 17 Air starts at £1,000. The 17 Pro starts at $1,099, but now goes up to 256 gigabytes of storage. And then we've got the iPhone 17 Pro Max at $1,199. So there's quite a difference in pricing there. So the iPhone 17 is the one I would recommend for most people this year in terms of pricing, because it starts at the higher storage base of 256 gigabytes, which gives you more room for your music, for your photos, and for that using that high resolution 48 megapixel camera. And it starts at that $799 price point for the smaller screen. So if you want a bigger screen, you're going to have to go for the Air. It's such a shame they'd got rid of the Plus model. I think it would have been perfect at say about $899 to $999, and the iPhone it should have been on offer with the Air, I think, just like Samsung kept it on offer at the moment with the S25 Plus. So no 128 gigabytes, finally gone, thank goodness, across the board. Some people might be unhappy about this because you have to pay more to get high storage, but actually 256 gigabytes should be the minimum now. So if you are going to go for if you are going to do a lot of photography and a lot of gaming and everything like that, then you should go for the more storage, and it does go up to 2 terabytes now on the Pro Max, but it is £2,000. That's a lot of money for a phone. Just bear in mind on the Pro Max, on the Pro, if you're going to do ProRes video, it uses about 8 gigabytes per minute, which is enormous. So you can just use an external SSD, which I do, and it looks great and it works well. So I think casual users go for the iPhone 17 or iPhone 17 Air. If you want the look of the iPhone 17 Air, it looks a fantastic phone. It feels great in hand. It offers plenty of different color choices. It goes up to a terabyte of storage, and it has a not too bad battery life. So the Air is actually one of my favorite picks for this year. Photographers, though, I'd still choose the 17 Pro and Pro Max because you've got that flexibility with those fusion cameras, and also the way that the lens goes up to 8 times now for the zoom, even though the 8 times zoom can be a bit hit and miss depending on the lighting. Pro Max offers the most storage and also the highest performance with that vapor chamber, and also the 2 terabyte of storage. So I hope that's helped. It's just trying to compare sort of the phones and how they across the board. Because this year we've lost the Plus, got the 17 Air, 17 Pro Max, and they're all great phones. I've tried them all and I'm very impressed with the iPhone 17 range. It is very good. I'm not sure about iPhone, I'm not sure about iOS 26 with the liquid glass. It's still growing on me. I know some people like it and some people don't. So it's one thing, I think it's a little bit like Marmite, you either hate it or you like it. So let me know what you think. Do you like the iPhone 17 range? Which one have you picked up? Have you gone for one? Or which one would you go for? Would you go for the Air this year? We tried a new Air out. Are you bothered about the thinness of the phone, just like the S25 Edge? So I'm going to try and do an S25 Edge versus Air comparison for you, because I think that's a good comparison. So I hope that helped if you're looking to buy an iPhone 17. Any questions, drop me a line down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching and I'll speak to you next time.